Begins here tonight at Shenandoah University, live from Winchester, Virginia, as NECC Smash Brothers Division I playoffs continue to roll through their progressions. Shenandoah coming off their first loss of the playoffs at the hands of UNCG.
I'm pretty sure that is correct.
Fisher. I'm getting my leagues mixed up. Fisher Varsity, the team to hand Shenandoah their first loss of the playoffs here and knocking them to the lower bracket where they have matched up against their regular season opponent in the University of Central Florida, a team that Shenandoah was able to take down 2-0 just a few months ago. But a rematch now with seasons on the line, and it's going to be a good one. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Clayton, joined alongside Ben Kincaid as we welcome you all back to the booth for the first time in a while after an extremely long and eventful and tiring but successful weekend of Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm recovering still from the weekend. I got like 13 hours of sleep in those 72 hours, so still a little groggy, but the players are locked in, ready to go, ready to win here tonight to face off against Northwood. Would be the next matchup for either of these teams if they do win. So, yeah, fun rematch. Was a 2-0 earlier on in the season. But we have mix-ups for our roster, right? We didn't have Eyes in that time. AJ out, Eyes in. UCF has a very large roster as well. Take a quick look at what the bracket looks like to see how we got here before we go into a deep dive into this matchup. But you can see there, SU with a 2-1 win over the University of Michigan, and then falling 2-0 to Fisher Varsity Zamba, putting on a performance as expected from the number 6 in the world. Falls us and puts us right down to the UCF matchup here that we have tonight, and Michigan Northwood going on at the same time as well.
Yeah, SU starting this playoff bracket with one of the most electric series I've ever been a part of, and Michigan going down to the lower and 2-0ing Houston. I want to point out that is very impressive as well. Houston, a very strong team, but Michigan chugging their way through the lower bracket as well. So Northwood and Michigan still needing to match up against each other. Hate to say it, expecting that Northwood team to come out on top. That's probably a top 3 at least team up there in Northwood, but forfeiting their upper bracket match, as you see, to Winthrop Academy. So that's how the bracket is shaped out. That's how we got here today. Shenandoah taking on UCF, and we will take a look again at the regular season results when I mentioned that these two teams did already play each other. Top 4 teams from each group making their way to the playoffs. Both of these teams coming out of the same group with the same record, Shenandoah being the 2 seed with the head-to-head, though. So again, a admittedly surprising 2-0 victory for SU, as these two teams are extremely evenly matched. UCF, an extremely talented roster, but SU got the better of them last time.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the head-to-head between these two teams. Both of them 5-2. Only a 1 game in the win-loss column differentiating these two teams. SU 10-5, UCF 10-6, right? So, I mean, these teams have been unbelievably close throughout the entire year. I mean, we mentioned the 2-0 win for SU, but that was a close series in itself. It says 2-0, but it came pretty close. Vonica on the Peach was playing very, very well in that anchor position and kept UCF in it for the long haul. But let's take a quick look at what this UCF roster looks like here. We have 4 players listed. S. Phantom on the Rob, Behand on the Lucario, Cheese Capo on the Ridley, and then Sticky on that Fox Snake combination. So there's a lot that this UCF roster can look at. There's only 4 of the 8 players that are on this team that are potential players for UCF. So definitely a lot of options from this team.
Yeah, very talented squad. Again, some interesting picks in there. A Lucario and a Ridley, namely, stick out quite like sore thumbs. But that Lucario ended up being quite the surprise for SU, finding quite a bit of success in the middle of their 12 stocks. But we look across the line, and again, same lineup as usual, same lineup we've come to be pretty familiar with. But again, the main storyline for me is that Eyes there on the right, was not the fourth member of this team when they last met. That was AJ's Falco back in the day. So different players here meeting up between these two teams. Again, UCF also an extremely deep roster, so it's entirely possible that we will see new players or at least new lineups from the Golden Knights as well as we prepare to load into our first game here, hopefully soon. I'm expecting a lot from these players, again, given that this is a lower bracket run now that would be required for this season to stay alive. Again, I'm looking at that guy in the back, Captain Igloo there. Potentially, I mean, I don't want to get too hung up on emotions. Could be his last game here, depending on the results of tonight.
Yeah, this could be the last game for Igloo Avery, the captain, the coach of this team. Definitely don't want it to be the last one, of course. Want to try to continue this lower bracket run, but the UCF is a tough team, right? We look at Willie's stats against UCF there in that week. 9 stocks taken, 5 stocks lost in those 2 games played. Willie played a pivotal role in keeping SU in that game, able to recover and claw their way back from that anchor position. So will Willie have to do it again? We'll have to wait and see, but with the new lineup, with Eyes getting inserted into this role that they are now finding themselves in, it's going to be a different game than we saw in this very early week.
Yeah, and I have to say, while these stats look great for Willie had a very strong showing the first time SU played UCF. The storyline of that game all the way back in week 2 was really that everybody held their weight in that matchup. Kip took very important stocks. AJ struggled to get going in the middle, but I do remember, and I just checked to make sure, set 1 ended with Igloo being the anchor. Going into, who's that? Sticky is the Peach?
The Peach Fonica.
Oh, Fonica, that's right.
The Peach, yes.
Yes, Igloo going 3 stocks into 3 stocks on anchor to anchor. Igloo not SU's anchor really under any circumstances, but ended up needing to do that in set 1, and he was able to come out on top in the head-to-head against UCF's anchor. So again, everybody really holding their own, pulling their weight on that team. So again, hoping to see more of that today, but so far this playoff run, while the SU team certainly is not playing bad, it has fallen a lot on the shoulders of Willie, especially in their last few series.
Yeah, Willie has definitely been one to kind of shine here this year, has been playing out of their mind in this anchor position, taking wins down 3 stocks to 7 and somehow finding a clean 7 stocks, going last hit. I cannot remember the team that was up against, the Inkling. That was
Michigan, I believe.
I believe that was Michigan, actually. Yeah. That was for Michigan. So a bunch of last stock situations for this player, able to clutch up in the end and find those wins. But we'll have to see if they can do it here again. There's a lot of players that we did not see. We did not see Marsh on the Joker from UCF. We did not see Dark Force on the Ness. No Darth on the Greninja either. So a lot of switch-ups coming through. I don't think we saw... Did we see the Rob? I can't remember if we saw the Rob, actually.
I don't believe we did.
I don't think we did. So there's definitely a lot of options for UCF to throw out here, and a lot of good character selection that we have not seen yet from this team from the Week 3 matchup all the way back on October 7th. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see as we get closer and closer to launching this game. As I see the lobby is open and SU is in it, still waiting for UCF to join in on this arena. So we'll have to wait and see who the starting 2 will be for these teams.
Yeah, again, I'm looking back at the first series that these teams played, and it started with Kip's Pac-Man into Sticky's Snake. Again, Sticky, a player that we saw in set 2 go to Fox, and that was the character we were expecting at the time, and the character we sort of associate with this player, but we know that he switches a lot, that he has a lot of results on multiple different players, or different characters, excuse me. So opening with the Snake, but then the Lucario coming in second for UCF was what ended up making Willie's Terry come out as player
It
number
was
2
Fury, you're right.
for Shenandoah. And ultimately, you see the dominoes fall, and we end up with Igloo in the anchor position, which worked at the time. That was a winning formula. So potentially see more of that. Set 2, they did not start the snake, so I believe Willie's Kazuya ended up anchoring set 2, and again, ultimately resulted in a 2-0 for SU. So both of these teams not afraid to move their pieces around, especially UCF on the front end. I believe pulled the Lucario up to the front, which was good news for SU. Ultimately, it meant that Kazuya could stay in the back, but a lot of moving pieces and some volatile pieces in the form of Sticky changing characters.
Yeah, and Sticky played very, very well on the Fox as well. We did get the character selections to come through from these teams. It's going to be Eyes starting on the Palutena, and Sticky, I'm assuming, going in on this Fox. I do not believe there's another Fox player on this team. That was the character that was hovered, so that looks to be the matchup to start things off. Oop, I almost dropped my pen. Well, I did drop my pen, but it almost went a lot further down to the ground. So Sticky up against Eyes. Fox versus Palutena will be the opening matchup, so we'll see how that one goes, and we'll have to see what Eyes can do up against this very, very good player.
Yeah, so Eyes, a rookie on this team. This is his first semester competing for Shenandoah Esports, first time in the playoffs. Now we've been in the playoffs for a good minute, so I would hope that some of the nerves have started to ease out a little bit, but big thing I'm looking for is how can Palutena take stocks in this matchup. It's very hard to hit a Fox, let alone take a stock against a Fox with any of your kill options, right? We know that Palutena has the back air, has the dash attack, and that's kind of it outside of your random smash attack here and there. But we've seen Eyes kind of struggle to land those moves, especially when opponents know that they're coming, know that they're at 100% or at kill percentage, and those moves are going to start flying out from Eyes. So gonna have to see if he's able to get a stock, maybe 2, right? It's after that we're in great shape, but a big opener here for SU to maybe just do some damage and chip away at some of these Fox's stocks.
Yeah, and the thing with Palutena is what Eyes has struggled with thus far that I've noticed is that putting those Nair chains together has been a little bit difficult early on in some of these very kind of early percentage matchups for Eyes on this Palutena. So we'll see if they can get that string going early and then really try to transition that into some up air kills or try to start finding some more dangerous juggles to transition them into a back air, that kill move, and try to find some ledge guards. We've seen Eyes play a lot on stage and get kind of nervous of trying to avoid an SD and not trying to find these aggressive off-stage options. And that might be something that Eyes has to do in this matchup to try to find these stocks, because Sticky is a very good player.
Yeah, Sticky is a very good player, and I have bad news. Unfortunately, I think that those Nair strings will be pretty hard to land on a Fox, right? Usually those are pretty easy on big heavyweight characters that get hit by everything, but Fox basically as much of the opposite as I can feasibly come up with. So, as we load into our first matchup here, Sticky's Fox on screen and making quick work of Eyes' first stock. Already got him up to 70% as Eyes struggles to find some damage of his own.
Yeah, 70% and counting here already on Eyes' first stock. Unable to get these Nair chains put together. A lot of holding that shield as well, almost getting broke a few times, able to find a parry, and on that jab attack had to just drop the shield altogether, knowing that that shield break would have come through if they held that one any longer. 120%, the back air is there and will be able to find one stock already. Eyes only able to build up 25% on that first stock. Now we'll have to see how much extra credit Sticky is able to get here as well. Right now, unable to get anything of note, but just as I say that, a couple dash attacks, some up tilts coming through as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, the combination with the Segs kick in the dash attack coming true, and almost finding a kill, 100% built up on this second stock.
Yeah, Eyes again just struggling to find much at all right now as Sticky's making quick work of this 45%. All that Eyes has been able to find, it's an air and a forward tilt in there, multiple parries. Sticky goes for the dash attack up smash and it gets spot dodged, so Eyes gets away with one there. And now starting to finally build some percentage. Gets a dash attack, goes for the aerial, excuse me, but it does get contested and Sticky gets away with that one. But Eyes recovers high and gets out of trouble there, but still holding on to the stock at 150%.
Now Eyes trying to find a grab into a back throw off the stage. Does connect a nair. Poised for the back air, trying to catch a recovery, but a good neutral get up coming through from Sticky. The grab into the forward throw will find the kill yet again. Sticky surviving still with 3 stocks, just about 100% built up onto this stock. Eyes trying to secure this kill with anything they are able to do. The back air getting thrown out again, but Sticky able to recover high with that jump and get back into the swing of things up against Eyes Palutena.
Yeah, this is where you're going to start seeing those kill moves come out. 120%, a lot of things would kill this Fox, but those things are pretty predictable. And for a Palutena, they're not gimmies by any means, as the nair lands and does send Fox up high, but Fox able to recover and get back to the stage, continue to build up his own percent and apply pressure here with these side Bs, continuing this combo on and on. A parry for Eyes, but no punish there. Dash attacking into the shield is bad news as Eyes continues to just try to get this first stock off the board. Whew.
Goes for that up smash as well. Does get that juggle with that up air. Able to kind of get to the ground, but immediately the dash attack coming through from Sticky. Eyes trying to find this stock desperately. The 2 frame not there quite yet. Patient on the approach, but cannot find anything off of that one either. Dangerous percentages for both of these players here with these stocks. The back there connecting a good DI coming through from Eyes, able to stay alive. The up B trying to find that ledge guard, but can't quite find it. We'll have to see if Eyes can find one. Very, very close in doing so. Back air again, and that will do it from Sticky, surviving with all 3.
Yeah, real tough break to start this off for SU. It felt like a lot of nerves in that one from Eyes, just respecting the Fox a little too much, just trying to fish for grabs and staying in his shield as much as possible, but not finding any value from it. And just like that, Sticky gets a full 3 stocks with no damage done, as all that percentage gets wiped away and SU now forced to respond down a full player.
Yeah, down a full player indeed. Eyes out of the way, and I have to assume this might be Kip or Igloo to come in here. Willie expected to be held into that anchor position yet again here for SU, but there's still a lot of danger on the side of UCF once you get past Sticky on this Fox. A lot of good players. Behand specifically doing a lot of damage in that Week 3 matchup, so we'll have to wait and see what the response is from SU. It does look like the locked-in character might be Igloo, maybe sitting down there in the chair. We'll have to see if that is what we decide to go with as we go through the pick ban of map selection here.
Yeah, I like this decision from SU because, again, it keeps Willie's options alive, given that Lucario is still sitting back there somewhere, and Willie's Kazuya clearly is uncomfortable into that, which is something that we learned on October 7th from Week 2. So I like this move because this means that if Igloo's able to take these 3 stocks or at least keep it close, then that means that Kip is still on the table and Willie's options are still out there. Or if Igloo's able to get through these stocks, force another player, if it ends up being Lucario, then Willie knows what's ahead of him. If he wants to come out of the anchor position and pull the Terry out, take care of business, that's an option. So makes total sense to me to put Igloo in here. Again, SU no stranger to investing Igloo and Eyes combined into taking out an opposing team's first player, but that does put a lot of weight onto Kip and Willie's shoulders on the back end. They've been able to live up to it the last couple weeks, but we'll see if that trend continues today.
Yeah, another down smash coming through as well, just trying to find some cheeky damage. Here is Igloo trying to find that forward air as well. A tech chase coming through from Sticky. Beautifully done, able to rack up just about 90% already onto Igloo's first stock. The up smash coming through as well, but cannot find anything off it. You can see how fast this Fox character is. A lot of these combinations are hard to get out of, and that is one of them, of course, with that up smash, able to find that first stock onto Igloo.
Yeah, just so many hitboxes coming out so fast and all over the place. That dash attack so unforgiving, and the up smash comes out so fast. So Igloo's first stock off the board, and now eating quite a bit of damage to start this second stock as Sticky goes all the way up and looks for more. The last up air just barely not connecting, and Igloo holds on to his second stock, but again, eating a lot of damage, eating those lasers too, just to add insult to injury, as now Igloo's platform goes away, and he's going to have to try and take advantage of this window with no platforms to help him out.
Yeah, 132 built up on this stock, struggling to recover. Sticky doing such a great job at finding these ledge guards, able to find that second stock there again as well. It's 12-7 now in favor of UCF. Forward air trying to find that kill, trying to find that spike, but can't quite connect that one either. Parry coming through, goes for that dash attack, but can't quite connect it. But still, a lot of work to be done from this SU roster to try to stay alive in this first set, and that'll be the first stock off the board for Sticky. Igloo able to find that one. Can they find another? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, SU just as a team trying to find their first. They finally do, but again, at what cost? Sticky is just moving right now, applying so much pressure, getting so many hitboxes out, and I mean, they are all connecting. SU cannot get away from any of it, and that includes the jab reset. So SU loses their sixth stock. Igloo finally able to take one, but man, a very rocky start for Shenandoah after a very different story in the regular season.
Yeah, 11-6 now, the stock count in favor of UCF. Sitting down in the chair, looks like it is going to be Kip on the Pac-Man to try to go on quite the tear to set up Willie for success. But man, is that a tough start for SU in a elimination series, right? This could very well be it for the season for this SU roster for Smash Bros. Varsity. So we'll have to see what Kip can do into Sticky. Here's two stocks on the board and then a response back from UCF. But one stock at a time is all you can really do.
Yeah, both of these SU players now forced to take on average about twice as many stocks as they get. So that's never a situation you want to be facing, especially against arguably a top 10, top 15 team in the country in UCF here. So again, I said it the first time, and I said it earlier today, that the 2-0 earlier in the season was relatively surprising in favor of SU, and I certainly don't mean to downplay that or anything, but UCF's an extremely good team, and we all thought, and we all knew that would be a very close series the first time around, and it ended up being. But today, not so much, at least through those first two matchups. Sticky just moving right now and playing very clean, not letting up many opportunities for really any offensive pressure, right? It's never really your turn against Fox.
True.
So we'll see if Kip and Willie are able to turn the page here in set one, or if SU is just going to have to look past this one and move to the next two sets.
Yeah, I mean, never count these two players out. These two players are very capable of going on absolute tears. Kip with a slew of 12 stocks in his back pocket and 6 stocks from Willie, 12 stocks from Willie, the whole thing from both of these players. So definitely.
There we go. I think Sticky forgot he had to SD.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what this looks like. Already some lasers from early damage coming through, but definitely nothing of note. Very standard for Fox to try to just steal a couple here and there. But yeah, that's something to look out for. The reflect coming through on the hydrant. Any fruit that Pac-Man throws out can get tossed right back in their direction. So let's see what Kip can do. But right now, already off to a rough start here up against Sticky.
Yeah, I mean, again, look at the placement. Look at the up airs, the dash attacks. Like, where do you go? Where do you land? What do you do? Especially as Pac-Man, because, again, especially under these circumstances, we're talking about – yeah, you see what I mean? We're talking about, playing as passively as you can to try to hold on to your stocks as long as possible. But Pac-Man can't do that into a Fox because of that shine. The shine reflecting all of his projectiles as well as the hydrant. When you take those away, yeah, Pac-Man has solid brawling options, but, I mean, none of it really matches up unless you have the fruit to really enable and bring it all together. So we're seeing Sticky already with that first stock reflecting the hydrant back at Kip from his ledge. Oh, man, I mean, it's going to take callouts like that. Unfortunately, Sticky does not die to that, but, man, that was close.
Yeah, still going for this ledge guard. Again, the tech coming through, but that might be Kip's stock.
Okay.
Oh, does have the trampoline. Up and up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, able to take one away. Will sacrifice the stock for it, but in all, that might be good for UCF. Putting Kip down to this one stock, able to put Kip in a very sticky situation. Now, hey, see what I did there? Whoa, hey, that's crazy. Yeah, Kip trying to survive now with this one stock remaining and go on three stock after this feasibly to keep Willie in it.
Yeah, again, if you're in a position like this where you're up this many stocks and you get an opportunity to trade 1-for-1, I mean, yeah, you're going to take that every time. So it's good awareness here from Sticky as he does eat the bell into the side B. Kip able to get away from this Fox, only losing 2 stocks. And again, that last stock very clean, I might add. So maybe a breath of life, a bit of momentum, but still a lot of work left to be done in this first set.
Yeah, certainly a lot of work indeed. That'll put us now 9-4, the stock count in favor of UCF. Now, mind you, Willie did go on quite a tear in, I believe, the second set of the Week 3 matchup. It was down to around 6 stocks to 2, 6 stocks to 3, and was able to win out on that one. So if Kip is able to find 2-3 stocks here on this next player, this could be a big opening for Willie to go in on probably the Terry, I would assume, knowing how the Lucario matchup felt into the Kazuya. But definitely opens the door for Willie to do some damage and steal this first set.
Yeah, we'll see, right? It's never off the table when Willie's still on screen, so can't rule anything out, especially, again, yeah, we've seen Willie just this playoffs alone, let alone his whole career. 7 stocks seems to be that sweet spot. Yeah. And if Kip is able to take 2 stocks here, all of a sudden, like, we're in a position that SU has been in a couple times and somehow managed to come out of. So suddenly that doesn't feel so far away, but again, I mean, I say it every time we're in that scenario that you can't really count on it.
Yeah.
And, we'll get there when we get there. But Kip with 1 stock left. I'm very curious who goes in here for UCF because, again, I wouldn't be surprised if all strategy is kind of thrown out the window right now with such a stock advantage. You start to get a little aggressive to just put this away quick and move on and not let Shenandoah think that they're still in it. Or do you take the conservative approach? Are you willing to, stick to your guns and stick to what's worked? I don't know. I'm very curious what their mentality is. I don't think there's a right answer, but we'll know what their mentality is when we know who their next player is.
Yeah, I mean, you have such a big lead, but you can't let that get to your head like you say, right? This is where mistakes can happen, and all of a sudden everything is like, oh, wait, hang on, this is not bad. We just got 3 stocked. Now it's 6-4. Now all of a sudden Kip can take another one and set Willie up with a 3-5 scenario, and they can win this set. You cannot allow for mental lapses of judgment or just some zoned out gameplay into a team like SU, because they will capitalize on small mistakes. They're very good at doing so. It's just a matter of if UCF does make those mistakes, and if Kip can stay alive, avoid some longer strings, and steal an early stock to set them up for a possible 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to see, but it does look like we've got quite a bit of a delay here going on, so I'm curious what's going on. But maybe a bit of icing from, I guess, either team, really.
Yeah,
trying to slow down the other. SU maybe trying to slow down the momentum. UCF maybe trying to slow down a potential comeback if they feel like SU has any reason to believe that they might still be in this set. But again, if I'm UCF, I'm feeling great about where I'm at, right? Your opener just went, what was that? 8 stocks?
8 stocks, I believe. Yeah, just about 8.
Again, I mean, this is Division 1, NECC. We're well into playoffs. These are not fluky teams that just happen to match up. These teams remaining are the best of the best.
Yeah.
So you don't see 8 stock runs very often, but SU on the wrong side of it right now and trying to find their way out of it again as we wait to see who this next player for UCF will be.
Yeah, it looks like the stage selection might have been the thing that was kind of halting progress. I believe the small battlefield is where we will go. Still waiting to see what UCF's character selection is going to be. But, yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot of options. I might expect it to be Behand on the Lucario. I think that's who came in second in the first set from week 3 against UCF. So we'll see if that is the option from UCF to just put the Lucario in and see if they can just take care of business. But we do have our answer. It will not be through Lucario coming. It's going to be Cheese Capo on the Ridley into Kip's Pac-Man.
Okay, so the Ridley, I believe in the first series between these two teams was their player number 3. So this, strictly speaking, based off what we've seen in the past, is a mix-up for UCF. We'll see if it pays off for them as we get our taunts and we are underway. Ridley, again, in my head, is a big body, and that's good news for Kip because, you know, suddenly these Galaga combos, these brawling combos become that much easier. But Kip in a bit of a blender right now. Oh, and the trampoline is in a horrible spot. A tough break for Kip means that it will be 9 stocks still on the table for Willie to try to make his way through, but a really bad day so far from Shenandoah.
Yeah, that is just a tough break, right? I mean, the trampoline just too close to the stage, can't really get that slide up to the ledge, and that'll be Kip's last stock gone. And now Willie has to find their way through 9 stocks, 3 players, with Lucario and Fanica, I'm assuming, still waiting here in the wings for this UCF roster. So, yeah, definitely a big ask for Willie to go on a tear, but hey, we've seen him do it before.
Yeah, again, we'll take a look back at this. The side B taking him very close to the stage, and then he hits his head on the stage from his double jump, and just a tough break. Uncharacteristic mistakes from Shenandoah as we put our final player in. It will be Willie matching up into this Ridley and 2 other players in this first set. Again, if you're SU, I'm thinking you're kind of looking past this. You know, Willie, go get warmed up, see what you can get, see what you can find, but certainly not expecting a set 1 win. It looks to me like UCF's got this first set under wraps.
Yeah, grab coming through, Electric able to connect on 1. Oh, just goes for that spike, but can't quite find it. Going for the 2 frame. There is Ridley, the Cheese Capo, but can't quite find it. Still a lot of percent built up onto this Ridley stock. Nice air dodge out of that one, but will be caught. Spot dodge. Oh, trying to follow up. We'll be able to land 1. The uppy is there, and that will be 1 stock off the board off of Cheese Capo's Ridley.
Yep, Willie doing a good job of just sort of holding forward right now, applying a lot of pressure, playing like he's got nothing to lose, and I think that's the right mentality right now. Maybe see if you can get into their heads a little bit, right? If you come out swinging really hard and playing overly aggressive, you know, maybe you catch them off guard, maybe you take a lot of stocks you're never meant to take, and right now, Willie doing a good job of that, but unfortunately does catch that forward smash, lose his first stock as well, and we are back to 2-2 in this head-to-head.
And 97% built up onto this second stock. Cheese Capo getting aggressive there, does get caught by an Electric. Goes for the up smash, but can't quite connect is Willie, but still will likely find that stock with another up special to come through, but did lose one. So Willie now fighting with 2 stocks remaining here, has to go through 7 and possibly 6 if they are able to find this stock. Like, just barely able to survive is Cheese Capo, but still a tough situation for Cheese Capo to try to find themselves out of.
Yeah, that was one interaction all the way up to 125 from, I believe, 0 or right around 0. But now Willie on the back foot as Cheese Capo has settled back in quite a bit and taken stage control. But just like that, we're the other direction, and Willie's hitting lasers way downfield. So Willie makes light work of the Ridley. Again, a big body, not even semi heavyweight character goes down to Kazuya. Not a major surprise, but again, it's something for Willie to write home about and put in his pocket for the future if we ever see this matchup again.
Yeah, now if you're on the side of UCF, as we take a quick peek at some of these replays, who do you go in to go up against this Kazuya, right? Cheese Capo was able to take out one, but Hand still in the wings. Fanica still in the wings as well on that Peach. So still other options to be had from UCF. Phantom on the Rob, Marsh on Joker, Darth and Dark Force, the Greninja and Ness respectively for those 2 players as well. So there's certainly plenty of options for UCF to go with, but I feel like the way it's going and the way that Week 3 matchup went as well, it was really close with Behan and Fanica coming in, so I feel like they might stay with those 2 players, but we also know that Rob and Joker are very strong characters in their own right.
Yeah, I think it has to be the Lucario because, again, when we saw Lucario come in, Willie was forced off of his Kazuya and onto Terry, and now Willie has locked in Kazuya for the rest of his run, however long that run goes. So you've got Willie where you want him in terms of forcing him onto his Kazuya and still having Lucario on the table. I think you have to play the Lucario now if you're UCF, given what we saw back in Week 2. We'll see if they opt to do it. UCF, again, had a major delay the first time. We'll see. Hopefully we don't get that again, as it looks like we do already have our stage pick in, and we might get this thing underway a bit quicker, and it will be Lucario coming in for UCF. This, I think, is the right decision.
Yeah, I think this is the clear-cut decision from UCF, able to put in the hand on this Lucario, who went on an absolute tear in their first matchup. So 3 stocks to 2. If Willie gets through this one with feasibly 2 or 1 stock remaining, right, there is an opportunity, but you can already see how much aggression Behand is able to play with. The more percentage that Lucario has as well, the more damage they will do. So definitely a comeback mechanic from this character. Kazuya has one of their own when reaching their rage bar, but still is very... it's much harder to deal with, I feel, on Lucario than it is with Kazuya, because he can kind of get hit out of it.
Yeah, and keep an eye out for all of the, B reverses with that neutral B, sort of trying to fall into Kazuya, catch him maybe in his shield, and find these opportunities based around that Aura Sphere. But, I mean, you see how often it's coming out. It is now fully charged, so I expect that to come out quick. Yeah, that move is a weird one where it arguably has more value when it's charging than when it's in the air. It's a very strange move, but Willie almost taking that stock and goes up and finishes it. So again, Willie on the board, keeping this train rolling for SU. Again, so much work left to be done. The set still kind of out of sight, but maybe slightly less out of sight than it was just a minute ago.
Yeah, 108 built up, of course, kind of in that dangerous percentage is Willie now on this Kazuya. The Aura Sphere able to connect as well off stage. Opting to recover high goes Willie. The down smash is there, but will be able to try to put a string together of their own, but will drop that one. The grab forward throw won't be able to find the kill onto Willie, but does put them up to 155%. So definitely going for the up special there as well. This could be dangerous here. Cannot quite find that one, and the Aura Sphere connecting into the back air will be that second stock off of Willie.
Yeah, okay, fully charged Aura Sphere once again for Lucario. I don't expect that to stay the case, but maybe he's got a combo dialed up. Nope, it will go wide. But eating a lot of damage here as this Lucario is up to 95% and starting to show why this character gets a lot stronger at higher percentages. Look at these combos. Again, it's not often we get to see Lucarios in general, as this stock will go away. Willie does finally strike back after a arguably uncontested 101%, but gonna have to really blow this stock up, and it's gonna be hard now. Lucario back to low percent means he's a little less dangerous in these situations, but again, 130% onto this Kazuya. Just about anyone could go down at that percent.
Yeah, Willie trying to survive with this last stock. Aura Sphere again coming through a low recovery, trying to go for that 2-frame. Does land the side special. Won't be able to continue that electric combination either, and that might just be it across the stage. Willie goes down, and it got close there towards the end. 4 stocks were left on the board there for UCF, but still very, very close.
Yeah, again, it's the matchup that we knew UCF wanted, and Willie made the most of it, still able to take 2 stocks into, you know, what unfortunately I think would have been probably a successful 3 stocks if he had all 3 stocks, but crew battle situations are that's not the case. So Willie unfortunately comes up just short. We won't see a 4th player from UCF, and again, just a very different story from the first time we saw these two teams meet, as SU already dropping 1 more set than they did last time.
Yeah, SU now needs to go on a reverse sweep, a clean 2 sets to remain here in NECC Division 1 playoffs. It got close towards the end, right? Willie was very close on being able to put the hand behind them and go up against either Fanica on this piece or any of the other remaining players from UCF, which Willie was able to do pretty well into as well. I believe had a 3 stock into Fanica in the first set, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but at least was able to take 2 clean stocks off of Fanica's Peach. So we'll have to see what the response is from SU if Eyes is the start again to try to get a stock or 2 on the board, or if they'll go back to the tried and true and start Kip here in set number 2.
Yeah, the big question is Sticky. I think that's all this boils down to. Sticky just took 8 stocks. That can't happen. I don't care what the order is. I don't care who UCF puts in. If Sticky's taking 8 stocks, SU is not going to win the set. So what needs to change? Well, you know, I don't know that it's characters. You can't put Kip into that. I don't know that SU would be willing to start Willie just to get rid of the Fox, although maybe that's what it takes, but that's not what it took in week 2. So I think we just saw some bad smash from Eyes, Igloo, and Kip. All just sort of had an offset, and that happens. But gonna have to kind of shake that off and forget that it happened and go out and win the next 2 sets and just play a bit cleaner. I think it's as simple as that. I don't think SU needs to overthink themselves into different matchups or anything. There were just a lot of uncharacteristic, self-inflicted wounds that I think if you clean up, this is a much closer set.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like there was definitely some slip-up, some it seemed like just some nerves, some slower gameplay coming out from Igloo and Kip specifically. I feel like Igloo's forward air approaches weren't as quick as we're often seeing. The up tilts into the up air combinations weren't able to connect. Granted, you're going into a very fast Fox character, so it is kind of hard to get your hands on that character, but even still, just some of these small little interactions that we see often go out earlier from Igloo and Kip just weren't there in time. You mentioned the trampoline as well, the SD there towards the end from Kip. Just some small little things that, if adjusted and worked on here into this second set, we could go all the way to 3, frankly.
Yeah, and we're going to have to. If SU wants to keep their NECC season alive, this is a best 3. Again, lower bracket here for NECC Division 1 playoffs. Both of these teams competing for their season currently. Winner will go on to play the winner of Michigan Northwood. But, again, Shenandoah taking a 2-0 over this team in regular season, and just not looking the same. That's all this boils down to me. But again, do you change the order? I don't know. Kip going out first into what we expect to be a Fox seems like a death sentence to me.
Agree with that. Yeah.
Igloo maybe wanting to go out first and try to lighten the load for Eyes to go in second, maybe, or just see if Igloo is able to just take the head-to-head by himself. I'm not sure, but ultimately, again, I just think it's going to have to clean up the fundamentals before anything else matters in this second set.
Yeah, just back to the basics, pretty much for SU to see if they can come back with this set 2 when we await them. They're in the arena, but we have not started just yet. I don't believe we might be taking like a timeout. I'm not entirely sure what's going on for both of these teams, but I still see that Kazuya is selected. I would not assume that Willie would go in first here. Given the performance that they just did on the back end of things, able to find 5 stocks. So it looks like we are going to go in and change some characters around, go through the pick ban here, 4 stages, and hop into this second set and see if SU can take care of Sticky early on and start to find some momentum back in their favor.
Well, I mean, we do have a reveal for who our starter will be. I'm going to wait to announce this. I'm assuming the teams know who each other is starting, but just in case, I'm going to wait until they reveal to each other. But this is a bit of a mix-up for SU, as, again, I'm going to stall until UCF reveals who they're playing in it. All right, so it looks like it will be Kip starting for Shenandoah. Again, not one that I think I necessarily agree with, but you know, maybe it's out there in the room. Kip feels like he's got a better shot than anybody else, and that's valid. We'll see if it's enough to get over the hump. But and it will also be Sticky on the Fox again.
Yeah.
So never in my life would I have believed that SU would willingly put Pac-Man into a Star Fox matchup, but here we are.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a call out to see if Kip can just take on the Fox, right? See if you can find these 3 stocks, find 2 even, and set up Igloo or Eyes to just find that 1 stock and really open up a lot of opportunity to take on a Ridley or the Peach or whoever it is to come in second for UCF. There's definitely a lot better matchups for some of these characters, specifically if Ridley comes in and Igloo gets that matchup. I feel like Igloo does fairly well into those heavy matchups, those big body matchups, able to really connect some of those up tilts, put together a lot of fairs, able to approach a lot easier. So we'll have to see what this first matchup does. All that doesn't matter if we can't get through Sticky here early and preserve some of these stocks on some of these players.
Exactly, yeah. If Kip is to go down here in the opening matchup, I don't think that's the end of the world as long as we're keeping it close. As long as Sticky is not taking 8 stocks again, we're in business. So that's all I'm looking for is if Kip is able to keep this close. Again, you always expect Kip, especially when he's in the starting position, to go out and win the first matchup. We're so spoiled by that here at Shenandoah. I don't know that is necessary for SU to come out with a win. It sure would be nice.
It would.
That would help a lot. I'm not saying that would ever be a bad thing, or that I'm not hoping for that. But if Kip is just able to keep this close, I think that's great news for SU, even in the middle of the matchup, right? If Kip loses his first and then quickly responds and we're 2-2 in the head-to-head, I think that's already great news for SU and for the player mentals as well to say, hey, we're back in it. Everybody shake it off, forget it. We're in this, and we got to keep going.
Yeah, it's definitely just, like you say, just shaking off that first set. Never happened. play it like you're 0-0, one stock at a time, and just do what you do best. We know these players are very, very capable of taking numerous stocks, more than 3 stocks every game. So as we hop into this game, we have not switched over to, there we go. So already we can see Kip doing a lot better in this matchup. 37% already built up here. The Persona music again coming through from Kip on the Pac-Man, the stock standard song selection from Kip, but still 2 parries back to back, able to keep themselves safe and really do some good damage on their end is Sticky, but still a lot closer than we saw in set number 1.
Yeah, Sticky doing a great job of spacing Kip out so far. Again, this has been basically 85% unresponded, but finally Kip does get another nair. 2 nairs parried in the middle of all that, too. That was impressive and problematic. Another parry coming out for Sticky. That's a scary trend if Sticky's willing and able to perform like that consistently, as Kip now once again finds himself off stage in a bit of an uncomfortable position, but Fox able to ledge guard those pretty consistently, but not that time. Again, the off stage maybe not as intimidating as his on stage. So up smash comes out and does not connect the way he would have liked. So Kip able to survive that at 120%. Key gets reflected. Again, some of these kill options just kind of off the table for Kip because of that shine. It's so strong and it makes this matchup significantly harder than it might otherwise be.
Yeah, the shine does so much work for Fox in this matchup, but still extremely close between these 2 players. The Apple coming through, won't be able to connect. Gets that back air, the down smash, the one to come through to try to find that 2-frame, but cannot quite find it. The shine trying to get onto the water there, but does catch the bell, but can't toss it out. And both of these characters above 100%, very, very close. This first stock already so good for SU. The bell connects, but can't find the kill. The Apple, however, will, and that'll be the first stock in favor of SU.
Yeah, that's great news. Again, a very different story from set 1, and again, just able to find a projectile in between the shines. Can't reflect that Apple, and unfortunately for Kip, there is a swift and efficient response from Sticky, but again, what did I just say in the pregame? Like, this is already great news for SU, the fact that this is even competitive, because that's not something that SU could say just 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, Hydrant dangerously low, could be tossed at any moment, but will just despawn. The dash attack chase coming through from Sticky will connect, but still, Kip doing such a good job at avoiding these long combinations that Sticky was able to find in that first set. The shine reflecting the Hydrant there as well, but can't capitalize on anything. What does catch that Peach? Both of these characters, both these players, very even here in the second stock yet again. So this one very well could come down to 1 stock to 1 stock. Up in the air goes Kip. Will get caught by an up air, but won't quite die to it just yet. But the re-grab will find a back air, but nothing coming from it from Sticky.
Yeah, good ledge trump there by Sticky. Does not result in a stock, but the dash attack connects. Kip forced to air dodge away from it. Will make it back to the ledge here. Kip goes for the bell from under the stage, but it does not connect. And finally, a back air will finish Kip's second stock off. So again, Sticky causing problems for SU. The bell connects, but the combo interrupted by his own Hydrant. Kip, whoa, going way off stage with his side B. Again, uncharacteristic mistakes, self-inflicted wounds, a scary flashback to set 1 there, but not going to cost him a stock this time. So we're still in it if you're SU.
Whoa, trying to go for that grab. I don't know what happened for Fox to fall out of that. We'll have to see that one again here in the replays potentially, but Fox able to survive. Sticky able to survive with that second stock. Apple going down onto that Hydrant as well. Dash attacks again getting launched in the opposite directions. I thought that might have, the down air able to connect. Kip able to find 2 and still has only 44% built up on this third stock. Could find the third.
Yeah, 2 stocks off this Fox is great news for SU. Again, very very noticeable change of pace here as they've slowed this Fox down a little bit, especially on stage, not letting him find all these dash attack, nairs, up airs, all of it, just not quite connecting like it was just a bit ago. Again, I said it in set one that it felt like everything he was throwing out was connecting in some way. This time, not the case, and Kip able to put some successful strings together, finding some damage of his own along the way, and now, all of a sudden, at 84%, has some seriously threatening options.
Bell coming out won't be able to connect both of these players in very dangerous percentages. Now this one could go either way. Hunting for that back air is Sticky. The up throw is there. The up air connects, and that will be the stock. But a wonderful performance from Kip, able to take 2 stocks off of Sticky is huge given their set 1 performance.
Yeah, definitely huge, but now if you're Kip, you're definitely wanting that one back because that does put a lot of pressure onto whoever's next for SU to go take this one Fox stock without too much retaliation. But heck of an effort there from Kip again to go in and get those 2 stocks. Fox, one of the characters of all time, definitely one of the choose to lose characters is what I've heard the most about Fox. But
choose
again, yeah. But again, just placing those up airs wherever he wants. It's very hard to avoid those, very hard to avoid the up smashes when you're trying to land and all of it. And as you'll see in these replays, the last one especially.
That bell connected. That could have been wild.
Because that is a crazy mix-up. That's not something we've seen Kip really ever go for. But unfortunately, just doesn't connect. Kip, though, doing a great job of ledge guarding on his own. But again, you'll see in this replay, so hard to get away from this Fox that has so much speed and can put that up air literally wherever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, it has a pretty powerful hitbox and hits pretty hard as well. So we'll have to see who sits down in the hot seat for SU. I'm expecting it to be Eyes to just try to find this one stock off of Sticky's Fox. They were very close to finding that first stock, but it did take 2 of their own stocks to get to that point. So trying to find a different result could possibly be Eyes, or maybe Igloo goes in now. But then if Igloo does not find this stock early and survive with 3-2 stocks, that's a tough situation now for Eyes to be thrust into a very hard back end of this UCF team and have to really just play like they've never played before.
Yeah, it's especially given that Eyes looked so uncomfortable in this matchup the first time around. I don't know that I feel comfortable putting Eyes in to try and get this one. If it was anyone else, very different story. Because again, I think everybody looked uncomfortable in that first set. It was not just Eyes, but this looks to be like their best player and on their best character of their 4, right? That's a really intimidating wall to have to face for Eyes. But, again, it's hard to say what's going on out in that room. Maybe Eyes agrees that it was just a bad set. Put me back in there and I can take one. Maybe not. Maybe he knows that, hey, that was bad. I don't feel confident in running that back and getting a better result. So then you do force Igloo, to go out there and hopefully trade 1-for-1 worst case scenario. But again, if you're Kip, you certainly did your job, but you're really wishing you could have got that one back to sort of take this pressure off whoever goes in next.
All right. I'm not going to say anything just yet because, well, wait, we know it needs to be Fox. All right, the switch up coming through. I was wondering if this would ever come out from Eyes. I've mentioned in the past that Eyes does have a secondary character, and it looks like we're going to see it. The Palutena is not going to be the answer from Eyes. We're swapping. We're going Roy instead, which I like a lot. I think it has so much more potential, I feel, with the speed, the range, a sortie character as good as Roy, as fast as Roy is really nice and to play with and really hard to play against. So we'll have to see what Eyes does on this character. I like it. I'm excited to see what this can mean here for this crew battle. And if the Roy just looks so much better than the Palutena did in set 1.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by this at all. I think the Palutena was just not taking stocks. And that goes back to multiple series we've seen so far from Eyes. He plays well in his movement. He's able to sort of get or at least get whiff punish windows, not always getting the punish part of that, but I always say making him work for it, right? Is the fundamentals were there, just the Palutena couldn't take stocks. So I'm hoping that with this switch to Roy, maybe that job becomes a little bit easier at the price of Eyes maybe becoming a little more uncomfortable. We'll have to see, but now stuck above this Fox is a scary place to be when he's throwing out all those up airs. You see that shield getting real small.
Yeah, able to find that side B mix-up. When you go for that side B, you have... well, that will be one stock off the board already onto Eyes' Roy. That's the one thing a little bit different than the Palutena. Roy does not have a very strong recovery, and when you miss the ledge like that off of that air dodge and you get put into that end lag, it's really hard to come back. But Eyes doing a great job at approaching with the nairs, going for some down tilts and some early jabs as well, but struggling to get some of these Roy combinations in the air to connect, right? The chase again coming through from Sticky. 102% built up onto this stock. The air dodge, able to get out of that one, but still such a tough situation that Eyes is finding themselves in yet again.
Yeah, just, again, so many hitboxes so fast and all over your screen. That is Fox. The stall in the air with the shine, and one more just raw up air takes that stock on the platform again. I mean, this Fox character is extremely strong and has been every Smash game. We'll go for a neutral B ledge guard there and sit here on a prayer, but it won't be enough as, again, the damage continues to rain down from Sticky as he just seems to sort of have Eyes' number. The drag down into the up smash, and Eyes comes up short. The Roy, not enough to get it done, and this Fox continues to cause problems.
Yeah, 3 stock very cleanly coming through there from Sticky on this Fox, and now it's on to Igloo and Willie to keep SU's playoff hopes alive. 10 stocks to 6 in favor of UCF. I'm assuming that Igloo is going to be the one to come in and try to take care of this last Fox stock. It looks like that will be the response as Igloo sits down in the chair. But yeah, it's definitely a tough look to come through, trying to swap onto that Roy as well, but cannot quite get it going. Stuck up in the air a lot of that match was Eyes, and really could not get anything going on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, excuse me. It felt like panic from the start, and that's what Fox does to you. It's so overwhelming to play into this character because of the speed and the combos. They just never end. It's when you think you're out of it, he's side being at you. He's dashing and running fully across the stage, and he's already under you with an up smash coming out. In that window that you think you're out of that combo, right? It's just how Fox works, and Eyes just not really able to keep calm in those moments of pressure when he is applying more pressure than like any character in the game. So unfortunately, Eyes not able to get it done, and now Igloo forced to go in and try and clean up the mess that this Fox has reaped through this team so far. The Yoshi, the decision, again, I think that's the right decision over Igloo's Samus. That would be shocking going into Fox. But going to have to take this stock, I think, probably without losing any to keep SU within striking distance.
Igloo now entering what could potentially be their final 3 stocks, branding the SU jersey. Hopefully that is not the case. Hopefully the run continues for this team, but they have quite the hole to climb out of. Here is SU. Up airs connecting already. A forward smash getting ripped as well from Igloo. Just trying to hope that recovery goes a little bit too high and able to steal that stock with the jabs coming through from Sticky. Able to find 62% built up. The Nair out of shield. Goes for that back air. Cannot quite connect it. And now Igloo finds themselves in another tough situation. 101 built up.
Yeah, the team just can't keep up with this Fox. Igloo trying to reestablish his rhythm. 120% though, and recovers just a little high, but he doesn't have his jump. He's going to have to air dodge. Won't even be able to do so. So, one stock off the board once again for Igloo. Only 62% built up the other way. And here comes Sticky, finding that down tilt, and that's all he needs to continue this combo. And up tilt into the up air will threaten the stock. Up smash, you're not Fox, you don't get to do that. And Igloo will not come up with a stock with it. Tries to chase down with the down smash. That also goes wide. And now, even percents on this second stock.
And 99% built up, gets the parry, goes for that forward air sweet spot, but can't find the connection. Does find the grab, but doesn't get that back throw, the up smash. Able to find a touch into that back air through that dash attack, and Igloo's now down to their final stock here. Sticky, 102% built up, trying to find a back air, trying to find this stock, and up air getting ripped yet again. Up tilts, everything getting tossed out from Igloo to try to find this stock, but they just can't quite find it just yet.
Yeah, 113 now on Fox. Got to think a back air. Maybe I was going to say an up air, but I take that back. An up air should do it now, but an up smash connects with the shield of Sticky. So, again, this Fox lives on, continues to build up damage of his own. A good little nair there to send Fox off stage. Igloo tries to go off and take the stock down low. Messes up the offstage interaction, but goes for it again, unfazed by the last result. And now these percentages once again evened up, but Igloo only one stock to work with. The run-up smash does get shielded, but definitely would die to that next time. The back air connects, and it will kill from the opposite side of the stage. Finally, Sticky is done and dealt with, but not after another 8-stock run.
Sticky with another 8, and Igloo down to their final stock. Willie has 3 left, but now you got to deal with Behand on the Lucario, expected to come in next here for UCF, and we saw how good that player was. Or possibly, I forgot that Cheese Capo came in second here on the Ridley as well. So both of those players and ops. We don't know who the 4th player is just yet for UCF, but Igloo has to go up huge, find 2, 3 stocks if possible on their final Yoshi stock. Sticky, man, just playing out of their mind.
Yeah, it's Fox, right? This character has it all and can do it all with relative ease, and SU just struggling to keep up with it. This Fox did come out in the first series between these two teams back in week 2, but only in set 2 when UCF was on the back foot, and I believe they traded 2 for 3 stocks and lost in the opening matchup. Whereas this player played Snake in set 1, which was also swiftly dealt with, I believe, by SU. So again, just a very different story today than what we saw last time. SU very, very much on the back foot and forced to dig out of a hole that they haven't really found themselves in all season long.
Yeah, this is definitely a very tough situation that SU now find themselves in, but I mean, Willie went, 4 or 5 stocks, I believe, in that first set. It was 9-4, and then they ended 4-0 in favor of UCF there. So Willie is very capable of doing it. I wonder if there would be a character switch on the side of Willie if we see Terry come in instead of the Kazuya, just to kind of mix things up and have a better matchup into Behan that we saw in week 3. The Terry come out and be able to perform pretty well into that player. But I mean, we're not there yet. Igloo still has 1 stock remaining, can still do some damage, as UCF does seem to be taking their time a little bit on their character selection, or possibly the pick ban on the stages. But we'll hopefully be able to jump into this next matchup fairly quickly and see if Igloo can find some momentum and swing it back in SU's favor.
Yeah, here's where I'm not sure whether UCF will opt to put in Ridley or Lucario. I think last time it made good sense to put in the Ridley in early when that's not what they did in the regular season. But this time around, now you're matched into Igloo's Yoshi instead of, who would have it been, Kip's Pac-Man last set. So I don't know if that warrants switching up the order. Again, I think the X factor in this is Lucario dealing with Willie on whoever Willie picks. If Willie does opt to go in Terry, maybe that's better news for Willie, but I'm not sure if that affects this decision right now, or if UCF will just opt to stick with what worked last set.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here, but I believe we might be taking a quick break, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a timeout called by one of these teams. So we'll go to a quick ad break, and we'll be right back with this next matchup between SU and UCF, Igloo into whoever UCF decides to put in. We'll be right back.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for bearing with us through some technical issues, but it seems like everything has been resolved. So we're going to keep chugging through this second set between Shenandoah and University of Central Florida in the lower bracket of NECC Division I playoffs. We have a current score of 9-4, one that is unfortunately a little familiar for SU, as set one went more or less the same direction, but a character mix-up here for SU, or for UCF, excuse me, as they have gotten pretty comfortable under these circumstances.
Yeah, Aegis coming in. Not sure who the player is. We just have UCF listed there. I'm not sure if this is a player just on a secondary. This could be Marsh or Phantom. Not entirely sure, but Aegis will be the response. A very, very strong character. Switching over to the, oh my god, up smash, getting fully charged there from the Mithra, and we'll be able to find that stock with the up B recovery. 3 stocks surviving, and now 3 stocks left on the side of SU. Willie, the last line of defense, their season on the line.
Yeah, but one player separating Shenandoah and a season-ending loss, but 9 stocks ahead of him would be, I believe, the largest run he's ever gone on if he is to come out of this on top. Again, we don't know who this Pyramithra player is. I'm very curious who that might be, because just based off that, they played awfully similar to Sticky, but Sticky is out, so at least according to the rules, that can't be Sticky. But Igloo looked all right into that matchup. Again, he just one of those characters, dare I say, another borderline choose to lose character right at the top of the Smash Bros. Hierarchy. And unfortunately, Igloo catching the wrong side of it. So it will be Willie going back in on Kazuya again. No switch to Terry this time around. And we'll see if he's able to pull off a miracle this time.
Yeah, Kazuya, the selection yet again for Willie. We'll see if we find out who this Aegis player is. Aegis does have some similarities with kind of their combo starters. Up tilt is definitely abused by Mithra, and then when you get to the Aegis, it's a lot of up airs getting tossed out, some forward airs, back airs with their big flame sword that does a whole lot of damage. The throw going on quick, 2 very quick back airs into that up B recovery, side B connecting there as well. Already 78% the forward smash, and that will be 1 already. Mithra, well, Aegis, nope. Yeah, Pyra. Hey, there it is. That is the one that found that kill, the heavy hitter, and that is that kind of almost like a witch time that Mithra has, kind of able to keep some momentum going. But Kazuya, Willie, able to get on the board here, and that will be an SD. Mithra does not have a very, very good recovery.
Yeah, one of the very few shortcomings of this character is that Mithra recovery. Honestly, the recovery on both of them leaves a little bit to be desired, and again, the jump got eaten by the laser, and now Willie threatening a second stock here as the laser goes just wide, but again, not able to recover. The one shortcoming of this character coming up to bite him 2 times in a row as Willie's starting to build some momentum here.
Yeah, Mithra getting kicked off the stage.
Is that
there.
enough?
I think that might. Oh, yeah, that will do it. A jump spot dodge, trying to get up to the ledge. The spike comes through, and Willie makes quick work of the Aegis, but not after losing 1 stock very early on of their own. So Aegis off the board, 6 stocks remain, 2 stocks left on the side of SU, and you have to assume it's going to be Cheese Capo on Ridley or Behand on the Lucario, but we said that earlier, and we saw an Aegis come through, so who knows who is next up for UCF.
Yeah, really tough first stock here from Willie. Again, maybe some rust from the technical break starting to get to the players, but able to shake it off and respond with a clean 3 stocks in return. And while this second stock, again, just a weird option here to try to catch Willie off guard with that up-B, does not work, and Willie able to punish it. And this is one of those moments where I feel like I need to pull out a tape measure, because if you look at Kazuya's hand, that's not that.
a little far away.
Whatever. But Willie able to take advantage of it and send that Mithra right down to the blast zone with a down smash. So next man up for UCF, it will be this Lucario once again. I'm not surprised by this at all. This has been UCF's wild card throughout this series as well as earlier in the regular season. But Willie once again going into this now down one stock, played it very well the first time around, but just because of the circumstances, Willie going to have to play better than really well in order to come out with not only a stock left, but a shot at whoever the final player is for UCF.
Yeah, Behand already getting some good damage. Dealt some home field advantage as we go to Kalos, the Elite Four stage for that Pokemon game. I believe that was, what, Gen 7, something like that? Regardless, Behand playing very, very well already into this matchup. Not taking a whole lot of damage, but able to edge out just a little bit on the Kazuya damage. 50% built up onto Willie's second stock. Electric will be able to combo. We'll get that break as well, and that will be one down on the side of Behand. Let's see if Willie can keep that going and survive with two stocks here and keep SU in this series.
Yeah, that's always good news playing into a Lucario if you're able to take these stocks before he gets to these higher percentages and starts to find the value of his character. But this time around, different story as the forward smash connects. Now the up B in return, though. Willie finds a bit of a reversal there, but can't find a stock off of it. Rage Drive is online and would certainly kill this time, but the side B catches Willie sitting in his shield, trying to force the command grab, I'm sure, but Willie, in response, the upper blast zone so high up, and Willie now in some trouble with this Lucario, still alive at 122%.
Yeah, so much damage being dealt now by this Lucario, already built up to 65%. Goes for that electric, but can't quite find it. The parry into the up smash as well. Also going just wide for Willie now. Almost built up to 100%. The up air will connect, and that will be the series. That will be SU's NECC Division 1 playoff run coming to a halt at the hands of a very good UCF team.
Yeah, a lot of emotion there from the SU squad. I'm sure they know that they could have played better today, but UCF, the better team today for sure. That was a strong showing from Central Florida, especially Sticky on that Fox. Just could not be dealt with by whatever SU threw at them. So you see the disappointment from the players as that does it for their NECC season, and they are knocked out of NACE as well. So in terms of Smash Bros competition for the semester, I believe that does it for the guys.
Yeah, SU varsity bowing out of both of their leagues. I believe Academy Smash is still going on right now, but I believe they were either in or lost their first set. So still have some hopes of Smash Bros continuing, but varsity will bow out here. Willie doing all they can, the guys, everyone doing all they can, trying to find any mix-up they can into Sticky's Fox, but it was just too great of a challenge. Sticky playing absolutely beautifully here today. Behand as well on the Lucario playing very, very well. Everyone on the side of UCF doing their job beautifully, and now we'll await the winner of Northwood and the University of Michigan.
Yeah, it's a tough system, or a tough structure to have to lean on, but we saw, Shenandoah had an amazing season off the backs of all of their players, having their own moments, having crucial performances at different points throughout the season. But toward the end of the season, when you start matching up into these very, very talented, very deep squads, SU just sort of falling short and finding themselves in holes that then ultimately landed on Willie's shoulders very often. And while Willie was able to, I think back to the Michigan series in the winner's side, right? That set 2 we were back here pretty checked out. That series was over. And set 2, Willie goes out and pulls a rabbit out of his hat and keeps Shenandoah alive, and they're able to respond in set 3, right? Too many of those situations for SU to come out of consistently. And so while I'm sure Willie is disappointed that he wasn't able to go on a 9-stock run or an 8-stock run, it's hard to ask of any player, especially to do it as often as he does. So he had a strong season, very much overperformed way more than I think anyone should ever feasibly be asking of him. But unfortunately not enough to take SU past this point.
Yeah, and the eyes coming in as well, having to go into very, very strong teams as a first year here at Shenandoah's first semester playing competitively at this level, has performed very, very well as well. The Palatanas looked good. We just got a glimpse at the Roy for the first time here tonight. We'll take a quick look at what the bracket looks like here as well after tonight's result. Falling 2-0 there, you can see Central Florida moving on. Michigan and Northwood playing, and will face UCF here in the future. Whoever wins that matchup. But yeah, I mean, an incredible run. Division I NECC, so many amazing teams here in this group. And SU barely just fall short.
Yeah, and we do have a special guest here back in the booth. I hope your mic works after all of this. Sounds good to me. Yep. After all the chaos of the weekend, dismantling this whole room and putting it back together. Igloo Avery, our captain, Yoshi on the squad, unfortunately falling just short to a very strong Central Florida team that we saw you guys take down in the regular season, but ultimately got the better of you today. What's going through your mind right now? How did that feel? And just what are you thinking right now?
Yeah, I was processing, Chris, and you can look at it one of two ways. Like, you can look at it as like it's a disappointing end to the season. And, you want to put up a better performance versus a team like that you feel like you're a bit better matched into than that looked like. But I don't know. In my opinion, we, like, this year especially, we have not really had a loss that's, like, really hurt. Like, we've had a lot in the past where it's like you lose those last stock, last hit scenarios, and you go home and you're, like, just wishing that things could have gone differently. With that team, like, I'm really impressed. We beat them in the pools phase, but this time around, with how that team was playing, I really just, I see a lot of outcomes, and I really don't see an easy way for, like, I don't see a way in general for us to have, like, approached that differently. Like, I would try the exact same thing again. Like, you can sit here and argue that we should start Will game 2, and, like, I don't hate that idea, but, like, I just think the back half just goes terribly then. Like, I want to try to get the momentum in the back half, but we could not get Will to a winnable position today. It was completely impossible to hit the Fox. Like, we threw all we had at him, but he was just impossible to hit, and he was killing us so early. It was really just difficult because we wanted to, lose a bit more valiantly. This was definitely a bit of a slaughter, in my opinion. Like, Will makes it look close at the end, but it was really rough. So I'd probably rather lose like this than have one of those heartbreakers that I have to think about for a while. As a coach, like, when I look at this, I really don't feel that bad about it. I feel like the team that showed up today was gonna slaughter us. Like, I don't really know if there's much I can do, to be honest.
Yeah, UCF played extremely, extremely well. I want to ask a little bit about the eyes switch. Going into Roy instead. What were you guys seeing with the Palatana? Was it just not working out? Was it unable to kill? Is that kind of what we were talking about here on the desk, just struggling to find some killing blows? Was that why we switched over to the Roy?
Yeah, we're just trying to find him a kill, and it's hard. Like, these players are good. They know how to avoid how to die, especially these, like, normal characters that they play a lot. Like, obviously it seems kind of stupid to put him in versus the Fox again, but at the end of the day, if he can steal one of those stocks, I like me going healthily into the rest of the team. I can go in, but you see what happens. Like, I don't do a whole lot better than he does. Like, it's just rough out there. It's really hard to hit him. So, like, Roy, it can take those stocks a lot earlier than Palutena, and we just wanted to give him a different look. Like, I didn't really want to play his Roy into like a Ridley where he has to play off stage the whole game, and that's just miserable to fight. Versus Lucario, like, it's just a weird character. There just wasn't really a good place for him tonight, so we really wanted to match him into the Fox. That's exactly, we wanted them to start Fox, we wanted to start Eyes into him, and it just didn't work out for us. Like, we just couldn't find those stocks. So, we're hoping that over winter break we can develop Eyes to a point where he can, have that character that can take those stocks. I don't really know what direction we're going to go with that, but the Roy had a better chance in the Palutena tonight, just couldn't get online with her.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. And while we can sit back here and moan and complain about how tonight went, I would be remiss to not mention that this has been, I would argue, the most successful semester of Super Smash Brothers that we've ever seen at this school. What, now that both of them are over, right? NECC Division 1 competition was very strong. NACE Varsity Premier competition was extremely strong, and you managed to go undefeated through the regular season. What do you think you'll be able to look back on this season and think to yourself?
Just the perseverance of the team is just so great. Like, we just shared so many special moments together. Just the friendship and the camaraderie comes, first before the Smash Bros. So I think that's what really hits me the most. Past, I don't really look back and think, that these were super incredible wins themselves, but just the fact that I get to work with such an amazing team to really put this all together, you really can't ask for more with a squad. So just the shared love of the game, just how we improve together, how we can pick up each other's weaknesses when we have bad days. That's really what I can take from this season, because we can be this fringe super conference team that has this really great relationship with one another, and we know that next level is really hard to achieve. So the amount of improvement or steps we would have to take, it's at the end of the day, you don't think about that at the end of the season. You just think about how fun it was to go through it together. That's really what I carry with me.
Yeah, I just have one last question. I believe this is your last semester here at Shenandoah University. Just reflecting on all of your seasons here throughout your whole time here at the school, what are some of your fond memories that you have of playing with Kyle, Willie, Kevin, who's probably in the chat as well? There's so many fun moments that you've had here at the school. What are some that kind of stick out, and what are you going to hold on to and remember as you go on with your future endeavors?
Yeah, unfortunately never got to play with Kevin.
I thought you might have.
Maybe we played at a LAN at one point, but never online together. But it was an absolute pleasure just having these broadcasts for our Smash matches. I think that's one of the things that is so special to me about this school and about going here, is that every match we can have, you guys or Kevin or whoever it is talk about us playing Smash Bros. And just that encouragement and that publicity is so cool to be able to be a part of. And it is exciting that I've been able to help lead this, group of Smash players who I think we will never have a Smash team like this again at Shenandoah. I think this is something really special, and this is just really great that we get to contest with these real top teams. I think this is the most successful team that Shenandoah has had, and it's just such a pleasure to be a part of that. It is sad that I feel like I couldn't, do a whole lot in this final kind of hurrah match. I was hoping I'd get a couple more. But over the years, it's been fun reflecting on kind of my role on this team. It's been a roller coaster. When I first came to the school to now, it's I used to be the anchor of the team. I don't know if you guys really remember that, but back in the day, we didn't have a Willie. And if you think Kyle's bad at anchoring now, you should have seen back then. Just could not put him anywhere but first. Just completely bad, for everything. So it's I really had a lot of stress on me that and I could perform the anchor role back then as the player pool was a lot different. It was very fun. But then when Will came to the school, it's things really opened up. I got to take on a new role where I could play this really fun middle spot where I could decide based on what I saw from Kip starting, whether that was a me answer or a sub answer. or like an AJ answer, for example. And that was really my role, is deciding, which of those middle positions I was going to play. And I've really liked taking that third position where I get to play, 6v6s with Will. That's some of the most fun ever, because you can just, leave him with 4 or 5 and he just kind of does his thing. And that's really special. So I think my role has changed over the years as a player, but also as a coach in the past, like, year and a half. It's just been so fun to just be more the decision maker role. Like, I've always been a strategist for the team. Like, since I came here, I always felt like my, opinion on who should go in was, pretty well researched. I was really having fun working with the team and their strengths and weaknesses. But these days, it's like, it's so impressive to me that we can beat these really top teams because of, like, what I've been able to accomplish as far as strategy wise. So that's been really the fun part over the past year, especially, is getting to take on that role while also getting to, play on the team myself. Like, that's definitely what I'll miss the most. Like, I plan on coaching collegiate in the future for a while, so I know I'll miss this a lot. But at least I get to carry, that part of the game with me, working with the team and just seeing, living vicariously through the players, like, seeing where that can take me as far as enjoyment, because it is so much fun. Like, playing the game is its own, like, great thing, but being behind the scenes is a different kind of experience, and it's been really great. Like, I've really enjoyed what I've been able to be a part of here, showcase different characters and different strategies. I know I've kind of approached the system a little bit with this team. I know Kyle starts a lot, but if you're behind the scenes, there's very good reason for that. That there's a lot of, like, mental things that go into how you approach these crew battles. And if it takes a team, basically being able to shut us out with one player, that's oftentimes the teams we're losing to. I think we lost to Syracuse, we lost to Fisher Varsity, we lost, like, Northwood was, like, fairly close. We gave them a decent match, but even then, like, one of their players is taking over half our stocks. Like, we're losing to these teams that, like, strategy doesn't help with. Like, they're just crushing us. So the fact that I get to make a difference in that versus the teams that are close, like the teams we play those in pools, that's just really exciting for me. And that's what I, have the most fun doing.
Absolutely. Well, I certainly hope that this won't be the last we see of you in collegiate crew battles. I won't keep you back here any longer, but I certainly hope you're able to not hang your head on tonight and look back fondly on not
Absolutely.
only this season, but, yeah, all of your seasons here at Shenandoah. While that does it here tonight, you want to shout out the Academy team? Do you know how they're doing?
I don't think they're done yet,
Okay.
but I know it's close over there. They're doing great.
All right.
I didn't even mention that. I mean, recently Nate has been taking more so the Academy role, but it's been a great time at Shenandoah helping out the Academy team as well. Mm-hmm. The future of Shenandoah Smash. I have no idea what it's going to look like when I'm gone, but being a part of that has been an incredible experience too. So, and yeah, I want to shout out all of my previous teammates that I played with and all of my coaches and mentors that have been in my life throughout this. Unfortunately, Academy did fall, so it's a bit, at least we both went out at the same time. If Academy outplaced us, I'd be a little bit bitter. So I'm glad that we went out the same round, a little selfishly.
That's very
We could have gotten Academy on stream though if they won one more match potentially.
Hey,
But
that's a great point. With maybe SU Mango Smash Bros edition.
Mango did play for the Academy team today.
Depending on
Our
the
varsity Rocket League player is
circumstances.
subbing in.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you here any longer. Again, congratulations on a very successful season and a very successful career here at Shenandoah. We certainly hope that this won't be the last we see of you in collegiate crew battles. But that does it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for watching, not only tonight, but through our whole Smash Bros. And Rocket League seasons. Be sure to drop us a follow so that you don't miss out on any of our future esports action here at Shenandoah University. But my name is Chris Clayton. This is Ben Kincaid. This is Captain Igloo. And be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life. And we will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program.
Nationally ranked health professions programs, Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
with 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program.
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway.
Immersive AR and VR learning programs.
Cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.